Welcome to another MPA Production stream. I am the guild leader of the MPA community. I am running a little late today, sorry about that, but we're going to get going here. Today will probably be a shorter stream. I'm very busy today, but I definitely want to do this while I have time. Hey, Young Outsider in the chat. So today probably just like an hour stream, but we are going to be working on the samples that Young Outsider sent me, so we're going to get that started today. How you doing? Hope you're doing good today, Young. Put this here. All right, so we're connected to Twitch, connected to YouTube. There, close out of that. Connected to the virtual world. Let me double check that. Enter MPA Production stream live. Good to hear that, Young. Yeah, I just downloaded the pack you sent me. We're gonna play around with those. Okay, go live on Twitch. Music Production Arena, Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern time. Mainly working on community collabs and other community challenges. For those that watch this that aren't members of the community already, definitely check out our links on top of our Twitch page and our YouTube channel. You'll find all the links. Join our Discord there. We are a humble community of music producers everywhere from beginners to professionals and everything in between. And we do competitions and events and live streams daily, and we have feedback streams we do and other things like that. So check all that out. These streams mainly consist of members sending me samples, and I'm taking the samples and working on them live here on stream. I pretty much use FL Studio, probably jump into Ableton sometimes, and just mess around with collabs. So since a lot of us use different DAWs, what I want to do is mainly just work with stems and stuff like that. So whenever I'm done working on my part of the collab, and if I want to send it back to any members that are participating, I can just render those out as stems and send them right back. Let me bring up a template here. Looks like we got some people coming in the VR world. Welcome to those in the VR world. I am live on Twitch right now. If you do want to chat with me, you can chat on Twitch in the Twitch chat. If you hang around till after the event on VR, I will pop back in and see if anyone wants to meet me there. I'd like to meet y'all. I mean, I'm trying to meet other producers and stuff like that in alt space. So hang out if you want and watch the stream. We do this Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern time. Hey Fox, welcome back. All right, so today, so all week long we've been working. All last week we were working on a collab between Fox the Galaxy, Super Z Wrestle, and BTSEM and I. So and this week we've been a little bit on that, but we're going to be starting a bunch of the other collabs. So like I've been saying, I've actually got a lot of collaborations started with different members from the community, and I want to at least get as many of them as I can started this week. So then what's going to determine the collab I work on each day is just going to be like really depends on where the song is, if I have an idea for it, if I have fresh samples to add to it, or whatever. If there's a track that I just don't have an idea for, if anything, what I'll do is zip that up and send it back to the other producers and see if y'all can come up with something. So right now, Fox, I've got some ideas for our collab that we've been working on, and I'm gonna take those samples you just sent me and I'm gonna put those back in there. But I'm very close to getting it to a state where I'm kind of curious what you and Super Z Russell will kind of do with it. So I'm gonna start getting it. I'm gonna come up with some kind of arrangement. I'm gonna render out the stems for the entire arrangement maybe and send that back to y'all and see if y'all want to remix it or something like that. And then we just started getting some of these other ones started. Young Outsider sent me some samples last night or this morning or something, and I just got those downloaded. We're gonna check those out today. Yesterday on stream, I think we were working. We got a couple of the other ones started, and the day before we started DLC Ninjas. That one's excited. For those that want to go back and rewatch those, you can find those on our YouTube and our Twitch. All right, Young Outsider. Let's check out these samples. It's first time listen. I haven't heard them yet. So, let's see. Go here, projects. You wrote a little note I got here. It says, "Hello, Guild. This is Young Outsider. Here are some stems for a song I started this morning. The song is called Up and Up, and it is far from done. All the samples should be in C, and the BPM is 128. Nice. I hope you can do something with these stems, sample slash stem. I'm not entirely sure how this would collab things work, so I thought I'll send these and hope for the best. Yeah, this is perfect actually, Young. So thanks for sending a little note too. No, it's actually perfect that you out of that so it doesn't cause my CPU to lag. And I'll return to that VR world here in a little bit. All right, so that's great that you just sent it like that. You gave me the key and the BPMs because thing is, the best way for these collabs to work and keep flowing is for us just to do that. Like, pick a key, pick a beats per minute, stick to that, come up with ideas for that, and then me here live on stream, I just try to mash this stuff together and make it work. And then from there, we could talk about how we want to finish off the track. So, anyways, let's listen to those samples you sent me. We got production streams. We go up 6. And I know I've mentioned this on previous streams, but I just want to remind you. So we got a lot of different collabs started here, but I'm not going to necessarily keep them all as individual collabs. At some point, I might feel like samples from 2 different collabs will go good together as one song, and I'm just going to combine the collabs because since we got so many members in the community that are going to start collabing and stuff eventually, really you're not going to be able to do one per every person. So that's why you see some of these with like grouped up people in it. And the collabs might end up with 3, 4, 5+ people. We don't know yet. Just depends on how we want to do it. All right, so Young Outsider Pack, 128 beats per minute. C. So is it C major or C minor? Do you remember, Young, or is it straight C major? Up and up. So is this the demo of the whole thing? Let's just listen to it. Actually, I want to hear the samples first for some reason. 1, let's listen to the drum. Nice. Run a little compressor on this. See what this drum beat does here. Yeah, it goes hard. I like that. Probably chop this up and use this in various different ways. Let's check out. A lot of delay on this. All right, I got an idea for this. I have an idea for that. What program do you use again, Young Outsider? Are you using FL or what? Interesting synth pad thing there. Let me mono. All right. C major, I'm starting to think. Let me listen to this one again. Cool. All right. Off-world strings. That's clean. I like these strings. I'm definitely going to make this a big part of the collab up front. These are really pure and clean. That synth pad was a little like tinny and like not really mono compliant, but if we make this pad more up front and use that synth pad as like a layer, it will fix a lot of that. See? It just gives the strings like this texture. I like that. I can work with that. All right. Up and Up 5 straight EP. Ooh, nice and chirpy. Yeah. Oh, those chirps are real nice. This needs a compressor. Either a compressor or just some EQ and to kind of bring out some more of the nicer frequencies. Cool. Up and up B6 VS Magic. I'm gonna get a drink of water while this is fun. Pretty sure we're talking about a C major thing here. Should be interesting because I actually never really work in major keys, so this one's gonna be a fun one. C major vaulting. Up and up mellow bass. I love that. I love the texture of this sound right here. Oh, how'd you make this, yeah? I like that. It's really unique. We'll definitely make that work somehow. I think it sounds good with the strings too. It almost has like a bow scraping quality to that, like a cello bass or something, a distortion. All right, so let's listen to the version of the demo. Okay. I have ideas for this a lot. Okay, we're gonna leave that as a reference there. But okay, I got ideas. I'm gonna go ahead and jump into this right now. Mainly I'm going to start this drum track. Let me just mute all this other stuff. All right, I'm gonna cut this up a little. I'm gonna cut this part off here for now. Turn this into two separate situations. Get this guy all on its own. So here we go. So I like to usually resample everything and get everything in its own thing. I'm gonna wait though for this. I'm gonna go ahead and chop this down a little bit more. Give it an 8-bar progression there. I'm gonna route this to my drum track on my mixer, which is track number 22. And I'm gonna hit this with a compressor. First compressor I'm gonna hit it with is Rough Rider 3. All right. Don't want to limit it too much, but 4 to 1. I'm gonna turn the makeup all the way down for now. That's 1. I didn't want to smash with this limiter. I wanted to use this for more of character and use another compressor for it, but I'm just gonna first smash this with the attack all the way down so it doesn't let anything through. Start. All right. Put it up there. All right, now I'll turn up the makeup game. Kind of balance out the kick and the snare, but I also don't want to make it sound the snare needs a little EQ and action going on. There we go. Interesting. This also could use a transient shaper. I'm gonna take a transient shaper, open it up on this, probably right before the Rough Rider, but after the EQ. I'm gonna use another free plugin, Transpire. Shortening like sustain. So I'm making the sustain shorter. I'm gonna leave this one alone. That's the attack, I believe, yeah. There, now this, I think the drums sound a little bit more balanced, the level. If you see if you look at the meter over here, limiter, the peaks are at the same point. I'm gonna look at this down here, see what we're clipping at. Negative 9.3. It's exactly where I want to be with my kicks and stuff. And that's just because I know where I master my stuff at. So everyone's gonna have a different setup. But that's my sweet spot right there for the kicks. All right, so I want to bring out the reverb of the snare. I probably do it with a layer, and I'll probably put the layer snare will have more reverb on it. Is how I'm gonna do it. Until then, actually, I will add a little reverb to the whole thing. It doesn't really hurt. All right, that's our drum, and I'm gonna go ahead and get the side chain set up to that. So we're gonna add those other little drum parts in later, but for now, I'm just gonna keep that simple drum pattern there. Henso's in the chat. Hey Henso, how you doing? What have you been working on lately? So I'm gonna go ahead and set up the sidechain for this loop here. So I like that. So we'll do, I'm just gonna create a separate MIDI track here. And this MIDI track will have the sidechain triggers on it. So here. So we'll just do that same basic 4/4 pattern. Let's do this. I don't want to make things hard on me. Okay, there we go. So that'll be the sidechain triggers for the 8-bar pattern. Trigger in. Definitely want to layer up that snare with some. Right. So if I was to, I'll probably wait to do the layer, but I just want to know that I want to layer that snare up. So that's what's going to happen. All right. I think I got the triggers working here. We might have to adjust the thing. Started using, I'm now using Fruity Envelope Controller for all my sidechain, which is awesome. Because I used to actually create automation clips for every single one of these and just use automation clips, which was annoying when coming to play this. So now I'm just using basically the FL, the Fruity Envelope Controller, and I've got one for the snare, one for the kick, and then I got each one of them has like different values of the sidechain. So for whatever knob I want to sidechain, I just link it to one of these. So it's working really good for me. Okay, so there's that. Add more thing. You can actually take these right there and group this together if you want. So group. Now those will be linked. If you ever want to do something like that. All right. I'm just gonna loop this out for now. So we get something to work with. And we'll start bringing in some of the other thing. I want to get that, now that that pump's going, we'll bring back in some of these pads and see if like how we can get them pumping just right. And so it says, not much, just composing and sound design. Had a long vacation, to be honest. Needed a break after all the school stuff. Got an A, though. Congratulations on the A. Elbow cough. Does FL have any compressors you can sidechain with? Yes. Depending on how you want to do your sidechaining. Like I could just route that drum track to the chord track and put a compressor on it and then just sidechain that drum track to the compressor, and it will just, the compressor will only act when the drums. But that's not usually how I do my sidechain. I've actually got on every single track, because I use templates, on my template here that I built, every single track has utility tools on it with volume, and I link all these to basically the envelope controller, and I sidechain with triggers. And the reason I do that is you got a lot more control over individual tracks having different sidechain and just kind of like that. And you don't have to open up a compressor for every track. All right, so let's what is the next one? So I want to do those strings. Do the strings up here. We'll put these strings on track 4. Actually, I want to do the bass. I'm gonna put these on track right here. I'm gonna go to that bass. I really like this bass. I'm not gonna leave it at the end like you had it, Young. I'm gonna put it through the whole thing and see if this can become like one of the main elements. This and the strings. All right, so I'll take this bass. I'll route this bass to track 13, which is my sub track actually, but it has a frequency splitter on it. Okay. That. And then I'm gonna frequency split out the, oh, it's already doing it. So it's gonna split the subs, keep the subs here, and it's gonna take the top end, it's gonna send out to the separate track. But I'm gonna solo the bass by itself and just try to make sure the sub's sounding really good. So. What happened to this? Oh, it's just the bass. Okay, let me max this out. It needs more. It doesn't have a sub. Okay, it needs a, definitely need a sub. I might have to make a separate sub for that, but I gotta find a melody. No, Hensel, so actually what we're doing now, okay, we're streaming Monday through Friday, same time every day, so it's 6 p.m. Eastern. I'm not sure what time it is over there for you. But Monday through Friday, and we're working on community collabs. So I've got like a whole bunch of collabs started now. This is a collab with me and Young Outsider. And so all these samples came from Young Outsider. And so all week and last week, we're working on different collabs between different members from the MPA community. And some of the collabs have 3 or 4 members on them. Some of them are just started. Yep, so I'm streaming on Twitch and on YouTube. So same time. And also into that VR platform. I don't know if you've ever seen me on that, but I streamed this into a virtual world and everything. So I'm multicasting out 3 places. And then I'm gonna re-upload the replays to our new Instagram too. So I'm just trying to find more places to kind of put the content, you know. But yeah, the main thing is Monday through Friday now, community collabs all the time. So open invitation to you, Henso. If you ever want to collab, send me samples and stuff like that to work with on stream. I'd love to do that. And the way that's really working right now is just you come up with the idea. You know, you pick a key, you pick a beats per minute, you come up with some samples, and you send them to me, and then I'll pick a day on stream to get the collab started. We'll work on it different days and send it back and forth, send the stems back and forth. Yeah, and so I was, you're definitely on my list of people to email blasted about this. So I would have eventually messaged you. I'm just messaging about 20 people a day from the community, just our top 300 or whatever, letting everyone know that we're doing Monday through Friday now. So definitely open invitation. All right. So this base doesn't have a sub. It's just the top layer of the base. So we're gonna have to create a sub for it. I can try to do that. Right. I'll reverb on it. That'd be awesome, Henso. Just you can send me it on Discord if you want or wherever. Use whatever you're used to using. Google Drive links probably or whatever. All right, this base is cool and all. It's just not as cool as I thought it was going to work here, so I'm probably not going to leave it. I would definitely want to add a separate sub to this base if we're even going to call this a base. More of a mid-lead at this point. It's cool. I like the way you used it better as kind of like an ending piece. But okay, let's keep that there. Let's go to this string track now. I'll put this on track 4. The cool thing about this template is everything should already be sidechained. Second. The sidechain is not working. I saw the controller peeking, right? Let's see. I might have not linked it to this. Snare. Oh, it's because it's just the kick one, right? Track 4, duck and kick. See, so if I want to adjust the value of that pump, which I do, I go over here to my controllers, dunking on the kick. This one. Also want to make sure this is linked to that right controller. So I hit track 4, link to automation. It's actually not even linked to the hard one. That's why. So I got different values of sidechain, so I can do soft sidechain or heavy or medium. So right now the situation is I need to link this to kick heavy, which is right here. You told me you use Ableton, right, Young Outsider? It says I watched some videos of making subs in Serum with Square and Saw together, and it works pretty well and sits tight in the mix. Yeah, I believe it. I like any kind of sub that's made from other than a sine wave, but still has a pure tone. Because once you cut out all those top frequencies and you still have that pure sub, as long as it's like balanced, not like compressed or whatever, you get so much more character out of it. That's why sometimes I just try to reserve the sub that's already in the bass, even if it's distorted. That's not always the case. I like using FM synthesis to make subs because you can, and if you have the ability, like on Citrus here, the FM synthesis on FM, you can go in per harmonic. You can change the phase or whatever per harmonic. There's different things, and you can really just bring out a little extra little bite in your subs and stuff like that. I don't do that too often. I think I have a preset saved. That's basically what it was. Yeah, this track definitely needs the pumping. The pump. Trying to figure out where these loops start and where they stop. Is this other part over here the same thing all the way through? I'm just gonna keep that first part and loop this. So this track here is C major, 128 beat per minute. And the way a lot of these collabs are working, Henso and anyone else watching that aren't aware, different members will end up jumping on different collabs based on what I think the samples call for. So this is like a major key. I don't have any other collab started in major keys. So this definitely calls for being on its own collab. But if someone watching this and goes, oh, I just want to do something for this collab or whatever collab I might be working on, the producer can send me those exact samples. Like, hey, I want to jump in on Young Outsider's track. I made some samples, C major, 128. Here's a riser. Here's a build up. Here's some other things I think could go good in that track. So that's going to be the best collaborative efforts here. Now, at this point, if anyone just sends me whatever fresh idea, I'll start like a fresh collab. And then if I decide and think that two collabs should be merged, I will. But the more people we can kind of get working together on a track, as long as it's working good, you know, I think it's better. So, and these are all for fun. But the thing is, at the end of this, or not the end, but at some point, once we get enough good tracks kind of finished from the collabs, I want to start releasing them for sure as little community EPs and albums and playlists and stuff. This is I would call the genre 128, probably a house genre. Thing is, and so I'm gonna stay away from like defining genres during these collabs. I'm gonna let the samples determine the collab. I mean the genre. Usually the beat or the tempo will determine the genre, kind of. But I'm not gonna stick to any normal rules because really, this is big experimental time. You know, my favorite thing to do, and the reason why I like doing these, and this has always been my favorite way of producing. I just like I like mashing samples together, and I call it mashing because it's like I like give me 5 samples random from a sample pack, and I try to make them work together, basically, kind of thing. So time stretching and pitching and weird genre twist and bending, I'm all about that. Very experimental. But a lot of these are already coming out certain genre. Like a couple that we've already started are basically just dubstep, rhythm stuff, and we got a house one going on, and this is another 128. So I've got one at 130 BPM, I got one at 128, 4 to the floor kind of track, and we've got a trap track started with DLC Ninja. Okay, let's bring in the next element. I was liking some of these chirpy try these chirpy things are really interesting. I'm gonna put these chirps on track 3. My template's like an 8-track template, basically, is what I molded it after. We got track 1, track 2, track 3, track 4, the bass being track 5, the drums being track 6, and then you got like effects and stuff. So it's basically try to keep this really minimal. I'm gonna have to end up adding a couple tracks, so for sure. These collabs get kind of big. I love that chirpiness. That really makes this. I'm gonna bring that out a little. I'm gonna use the Fresh Air plugin that I like to use so much to see if I can bring out some of these highs in a better way than just using EQs. That's nice. Those chirps make this takes it into a minimal house direction for sure. pull back on those strings a little. This track's coming alive with this right here, Young Outside. I like this. This gives the track character already. I want the strings to pump a little bit more, I guess. Let's make the strings just a little bit more pumpy. Bring this out just a little bit. So the reverbs are also pumping, but the thing is, I have to choose the value of all the pumps. Like I want this reverb to pump heavier too, so what I'll do is switch it from medium to heavy here also. So okay, heavy. I don't know if that worked. Let me try that again. Okay, heavy, yeah, it worked. I'm gonna give this more reverb. So I get the chirps with a lot of reverb, and the reverb is pumping. Not pumping anymore. What's this? Kick, heavy. I unlinked that somehow, my bad. Oh, I know what I did. You gotta be careful. See, the thing about templates and stuff, they're very personalized, and you gotta remember everything. So kick heavy, I gotta link this again, but like I have remove conflicts here. Make sure that's turned off. Now it will be on. I just unlinked that from everything a second ago. Oh well. We'll just have to double check everything, make sure you got everything linked. There, it's pumpy. We need the upbeat hi-hat. Offbeat hi-hat. I love this chirpy thing right here, though. This is gonna make the track. Oh, let me add some reverb to those strings. This doesn't need it. I'm not the type of person that high pass and cuts everything right away. I can see right here. It doesn't need it. If you don't see something down there, I know everyone's always like, oh, just get rid of it. Just get rid of it anyways. Get rid of it anyways. I'd rather just do like this. I mean, if you really want this peak gone, you just target it like this. You know? Look how thin that just got. Ugly. You leave that low in there, let the sidechain take care of it. Young outsider. I'm not even joking, dude. Like, I'm loving this track now. This chirp, those strings, this drum beat needs to be layered, I think, with a couple other little drums, like snares and stuff or whatever. But I like this. I like what you did here. Kind of want this to loop a little bit more. I'm gonna pull this. Oops. I'm gonna pull this down here, and I'm gonna loop this one. Right here. So, looks like it gets a little bit more intense here. I might need to run a compressor on that, but not necessarily. Yeah, the snare needs like a layer with a reverb. We'll add some more percussion and stuff too. This is the bass thing that's not really working yet. I'm gonna leave that out for now. This pad was a little intense. Oh, let me go get that layered oh yeah. So this layer here is gonna add a lot of texture to those strings. So this should really be on track 3 with those strings on. I got this kind of grouped as leads and stuff. I want to put those chirps on track. Don't worry about me, guys. I'm sorry. I'm just speaking out loud. I'm gonna actually just move this over. So track 3, gonna go there. Fine. I really didn't even need to do that. I'm just gonna make another track. Call it track 5. So I need to add more to my template. When I make a track by myself, I'm really minimal and I just keep it super simple. But these collabs, I can't help it. There's just gonna be a lot more stuff here, you know. All right, track 5. I'm gonna move this over here. I'm gonna put this pad synth on that track. Track 3. It'll all be for like lead things. Take this reverb off, turn it up here. I just keep things grouped here because the leads, I give them a different reverb than the pads. I give them a different pumping action. Like I want the reverbs on the pads and the chords to be different than, not different, but I want to be the side chain to be a little different, stuff like this. So I group my stuff like this on purpose. I got the subs, the pads, and the leads kind of things, and stabs and leads and stuff. So that's what's going on here with this whole template thing, and that's why I'm like getting kind of picky with it. But there's so track 1, 2, and 3 now belong for like leads and stuff. This chirpy thing would be kind of more of like a perky lead thing. Arp. It's more of an arp, I guess you could. And then we'll mix the chords and the pads here. So we'll take this, give this same reverb. Yes, yes, yes. Beautiful. I'm a big fan of templates, you know, because it just kind of, like I always say though, like you can't just kind of steal someone else's template or use someone else's. You got to build your own template, but you kind of want to get your template built the way you like it. Um, it's just a great way to stay organized. It's also a great way to box yourself in and kind of destroy creativity, but you just kind of got to work with it. Not, you know, don't let it control you. Just kind of use the template to help you. Don't like use it to kind of box you in. Like track 5. Um, but the beauty of a template is like this whole thing right here. Like I'm about to have to add all my sidechain stuff here. I don't like to do this stuff on stream. It just takes tedious time to do it, but I'm gonna do it anyways. I like to do this stuff off stream. That's why the templates are very important for the live streams. I'm gonna have a really solid template for our live stream, so you don't have to see me doing all this stuff. But anyways, I got little utility tools here. I'm gonna drop over for track 5. Duck this on the kick. Link to controller, kick, heavy, there, and accept it. It needs volume automation. I'm just gonna take it from track 4. So I'm gonna add a volume utility to this. Here. Instead of like creating a new automation for this, I'm just gonna link this to. I'm just gonna link that to the automation that's already happening for the track 4. Because volume track 4 volumes right here. Just making sure I didn't set up another controller for that. No, I didn't. So here's volume track 4 and link it to that. So now whatever track 4's automation does, this will just copy it, and I don't have to create a separate automation link. I like to remind myself that I did that. So here in the thing, I'll rename it. This is link track 4. I'll do something like that. This I know. Okay, so that should work. This nice texture. It doesn't need this part as much because the strings are going to fill in this part, but I'm just going to leave it like that. Sorry, I just saw the chat. Yeah, well, a lot of things need similar processing anyways, so why not? Yeah, exactly. How does the swing knob affect warped samples in FL? It doesn't. That's the problem. That's what makes Ableton's warping and groove pull better than what the swing value does here in FL. Like loops, is it accurate? Does it sound like crap? It doesn't even affect it. So it doesn't sound like crap because it doesn't affect it. You have to, if you want to swing your samples. I'm pretty quick at it because I do it all the time. Like even in this template. Speaking of templates, I already have like this thing right here is new time. I drop my samples here, and I know where I want to swing. So I'll choose the value I want to swing, and I'll literally like swing it manually, which is annoying, yes. But and then I'll resample. So yeah, that's why Ableton is still the way to go with that. And if you really want to groove a whole bunch of clips at one time, you should just drop them into Ableton and then bring them back into FL. If you're an FL user, I mean. I'm hoping that they get some real-time audio groove pull situations going on in FL. They're getting their real-time stretching is really good now. I can be playing real-time performance mode and stretching like speeding it up, slowing it down. Everything stretches really good algorithms. But as far as warping little markers in real time, they ain't got that yet. Yeah. It'd be nice though. I use a lot of MIDI though for that reason. Even with so if I have a loop, I usually drop that loop into like SliceX or a sampler that you can put multiple marks on everything, and then I'll go in and with the piano roll I'll add the swing or groove or whatever. But see, the thing is they don't got a groove pull here. Like Ableton has swing values in the quantize, but then they also got the groove pull. The groove pull is something all on its own. That's like literally like so many different swing values just ripped from different grooves, and that it uses the Ableton markers to move all that stuff around, and that's really cool. I'd be happy if you could even just do that with the new time here. Like it'd be cool if I could drop in grooves here and then have it just automatically map the markers together. That'd be cool. Who knows? Maybe they're working on it. So yeah, that'd be really cool. Even when I'm in Ableton, I don't use too many of those grooves, but I should more. You got to really find one that works and doesn't really throw everything off, and then you got to make sure everything's kind of like on that same groove. Yeah, the comping is next level, Ableton. Hey, I'm pro Ableton here too. This ain't an FL Studio stream, Hento. So you'll definitely get a lot of Ableton love out of me. I love Ableton. I've always liked Ableton. I've sold it worked 5 years at a big guitar chain, Guitar Center here, and I worked in the production section, and I sold all the software. And Ableton was one of the main ones I sold and pitched all the time, so I could sell it to you I could sell Ableton to anybody. It's amazing, and it's the way to go if you're doing live stuff. It's also the way to go if you're doing any kind of like community work inside of like, other than kids, like under the age of in high school, anyone over high school, everyone uses Ableton. High school and under, you're getting into the FL realms. It's just funny. But I've been fighting that battle my entire life, trying to explain to people why I think FL is just like super professional. And of course, at this point, people know it is professional. It's just its own beast. But the Ableton FL war will forever go on. And the funniest part about that is my best producer friend in real life is a hardcore Ableton user, and I'm a hardcore FL user. So A conversation never ends without us like talking about why our DAW is better than the other. I'm like, oh yeah, by the way, did you see that new update that I'm going to say? But yeah, that comping feature in Ableton, I've been pitching that to people also about how awesome it is. Like that is the best. That is the best way to just take 100 takes of a vocal take or something, and or whatever it might be, and quickly comp all the best pieces together into one track without having to like do it all manually. That is just genius. And if I don't know if every other dog would just copy that, then the race would stay pretty even. But that right there makes Ableton hardcore. I started with FL Studio way back on version 3 because I'm old school like that, and so I'm growing with it. It just makes sense to me. When I actually bought my first workstation keyboard, like you don't get a big screen with it; it's just a keyboard. But in my head, I would picture FL Studio. So like when I was going through all the menus on my keyboard and trying to figure out how to loop things, I was comparing it to FL Studio. So like when I finally got a DAW, FL made sense to me versus the other ones because I just thought it better. But actually, coming from a traditional recording background in any other program, um, I'd say it doesn't make sense. It's not your traditional thing, and I'd almost say Ableton is very confusing in that sense too. The most traditional ones are Pro Tools, Logic, GarageBand, Cubase. All those are your traditional tracker style DAWs. Ableton and FL are different. They thought outside the box. They made it different. They made their program based on like their own workflow mechanics, and that's what makes them so good, in my opinion. But don't even get me twisted. Cubase and all those other ones are really good too. Everything but Pro Tools. We all know everything's good but Pro Tools. Just plain. My first time with Ableton was with Launchpad Ableton 9. Yeah, that's what makes Ableton so amazing is all the controller support. I was missing out for the longest time. I finally got finally FL came out with the Fruity Fire Akai controller, and I use it like all the time. That's the closest thing that I have to a proprietary piece of gear that for FL. I just bought myself, waiting for it to come in the mail tomorrow, is a Behringer MIDI foot controller, the 1010. I forget what it's called, FCB or FC foot control, FC. I don't know what it's called. 1010 is the MIDI foot controller, and that's going to be fun. I'm going to be able to trigger loops and automation. It has two expression pedals and a bunch of switches, so I'm going to be able to trigger stuff. I do a lot of VR music jamming stuff now too with the headset and the hand controllers on. I need to be able to control with my feet. And the funnest stuff I've been working on this weekend, everybody, I'll show it off maybe Saturday, is I've got a VR controller program. I got a VR program with instruments that can be MIDI mapped to FL, and it works great. And the instruments in this thing are just genius. I don't know how the other way I could explain it is like the VR 360 like access control with some of these controllers they have in this program, the way they did it and thought about it actually makes the VR kind of, other than it just being kind of annoying to make music in VR, and I don't recommend anyone doing it if they're trying to make an actual good song. These VR instruments are kind of revolutionary, I think. Anyways, you can actually MIDI map those to the FL or Ableton, and actually the filters and everything. And then I'm like in VR with these virtual instruments, and it's controlling FL. And I was like freaking out about it, geeking out about it this weekend. And I realized the only thing stopping me is like being able to trigger like loops and recording and automation with my feet. The program is called Virtuoso. Virtuoso. I'm gonna open it up right now. Virtuoso. Virtuoso. VR is. It's not the only one that does it, but it's the one that I like. It's there's a couple other ones. Let's just say all the programs in VR are really like, they almost seem like they're all startups. They're all like very like just kind of like test phase. Put it that way. But I got a lot of music apps here in VR, and Lyra I would say is one of the best ones too. Very unique. You can bring in your own. From in Lyra you can access your loop library. I think it's actually made by this. I don't know who it's made by. Anyways, loop library from this. That one's pretty cool. Modilla here, Studio. You can MIDI map stuff, but it doesn't look that cool. It kind of looks kind of like old school, weird like technology. Kind of, I don't know how to explain it. Just really blocky. So those are kind of cool. I got transient, you could open up third-party VSTs in this thing, which is awesome. But everything else is so gimmicky in this thing, dude. Like it's so like just buggy. Like I don't know, and the characters looked ridiculous. I was like, they just don't work for me. So, but you can open up third-party VSTs. I was like freaking out. I was like, what the heck? So that's cool. And then some of these other ones are just really unique jamming little apps or whatever. But this one right here, Virtuoso, it even just without hooking it to your DAW, the sounds sound pretty good, very low latency, and you can like create, it's like a loop jammer, and it's got a bunch of instruments in there, and you can loop jam or whatever. It's really fun. But then I found out you can MIDI map it. It was super easy. You just download the companion app. I mapped it to FL. I mapped like 4 different instruments to 4 different things in FL, and then a bunch of different knobs and stuff. And I was jamming, but then I realized like the best thing what I should have been doing is like looping things and triggering other things. And you just can't do everything from in there. So that's why I got that foot controller, and it's gonna be awesome. I'm excited for that. I'll probably mess with it this weekend. Fun stuff. I'll tell you, I geek out about music program. Music and technology is like my whole thing right now. Like, I'm a traditionalist in so many ways, but actually when it comes to music, I just love like apps, music apps and technology, and the ways you can take an instrument, make an instrument out of anything. You make your own instruments. All right, there's enough rambling and digressing there. I feel like I was left off thinking here. Yeah, this space, this pad thing. So here we go. Yes, it's on Quest now too. Young outsider, you got a headset? Yes. Okay, we've got to meet up somewhere other places too. I'm on AltSpace VR is a platform I do a lot of music stuff on too. But anyway, fun stuff. I'm glad you're doing that. Yeah, it's also on the Quest, which I haven't tried linking the Quest to FL Studio, but it says it works too. So it says that you can actually MIDI map wirelessly over your network. And so that should be fun. I don't know how the latency is on that, but it should work pretty good, I'd imagine. I tell you, when I MIDI mapped it using the Rift, the desktop version, it was like no latency at all. It was perfect. Yeah, excitement. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm trying to find other members with headsets. I'm noticing even just through my Facebook friends and contacts that more and more people are getting headsets these days. And I mean, I got a headset like way back when they first came out with the Oculus Go, and I've been tinkering around. But see, the thing is, I got into it for the music, believe it or not. I'm not a big gamer. I mean, I like them, but I didn't get it for the games. I saw someone do a virtual reality concert, and I was determined to figure out how they did it. And I've been working on it ever since. Like, and that was just a couple years back, and I was just like, man, how are they doing this? And I've just been observing it ever since. And that's when I got the Quest. I got the Go when they first got it. The Go's got discontinued, unfortunately. They're just not the same. They're not as good. I am like talking about all kinds of other stuff today. I need to take this pad, move it here, 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 here. I've done VR concerts. Well, I mean, it just depends on the platform, but there are platforms that are all about. I mean, I could show y'all some stuff. I will show y'all the Monster Cat world by the end of this stream today. There's a Monster Cat created their own virtual world in Sanzar, and it's nice. And they actually do hold DJs actually do perform there. And it just depends on the platform you're on. Burning Man, which is a big hippie festival or what, I don't know if it's hippies, but it's a big festival here in the States. They, because of the lockdown last year, they did Burning Man in virtual reality on a platform called AltSpace, and that's how I got onto AltSpace. And I did some shows there. I posted some clips a while back of some of my shows. I'm sure y'all have seen it. It's the shows where I've like got all my lights on and my headset going and everything like that. But you know what? It's just a different experience. I would never call VR a replacement for anything. I would just call it a different experience to go toy around in. It's not, nothing beats being on a real stage. Hippie festival. And did I just offend a bunch of Burning Man people? I don't know. Sorry. That's funny. Yeah. So, anyways, there's a lot of stuff going on there, and it's just part of technology. There's a big convention that tours the world or whatever. It's all about music and technology, and their most popular booths were the VR booths last year, so I'm assuming we're about to see a lot more apps competing. I mean, the day that you can walk through a VR FL Studio or a VR Ableton or something like that, completely, or it wouldn't even have to be those, of course, just a complete DAW built from the ground up in VR, but fully featured like FL and Ableton and stuff. That would be amazing, and it would need to make sense. And I tell you, the way they do it is not with VR; they do it with what they call AR and augmented reality, but actually XR is the mixture of VR and AR together. And you would want to be able to see the real world and the virtual stuff at the same time. That would be the best mixture of VR for music. So you would basically be seeing virtual instruments in the sky. You'd be able to control them with your controllers, but you're able to see the audience in the real world still, and you'd be able to see your gear. And the closest thing they got to that right now is you can actually map it where you look down and their cameras kick in and you see through and you can see your piano. But when you look back up, it goes back into the world and you see the virtual audience. So they got some cool stuff. I'll definitely be making videos with all that stuff because that's what I like to do. So let me share it. Okay, I'm layering this synth pad with the strings. I really like the texture that this is gonna give. They need to be pumping the same way. They're not really pumping. Trying to make them sound like more of a layer, not. It's like this high texture is what I want out of it, but I don't want it to be so. Probably just needs to be turned down a lot more. I just want that to be very subtle. I'm not sure. Sounds good, Young. I'll at some point try to meet you on there. Said I do the stream daily on there, but I'm not always necessarily in there. And then afterwards, I try to get on there and meet some people that might have stuck around or whatever. There's a few other people from the community that also have headsets. Zandit. And then the cool thing about Altspace is you don't even have to have a headset to use it. As you can see here, I got it pulled up on my computer. You can do 2D mode. And this is more similar to old platforms like Second Life was a platform similar to this where you can basically do events in a virtual world and stuff, but it's all on the computer, not VR. Yeah. Here. There were a few people here when this thing started. Like I said, getting people to come to the world is a different thing. Now, they'll show up if I do a lot of promotion. And last year when I was doing events in here, I was getting those events featured by requesting them to be featured. And they were featuring my concerts and my performances. And yeah, that was a lot of fun. I just want to show one thing. So this is so once you get on here, Young, I gotta get you to this world here. This is my friend's world. You might have seen me on here yesterday. He built a studio. And yeah. Cool, Fox. Yeah, let me know when you do. I recommend the Oculus Quest 2 for sure. It's one everyone's getting, but the Quest 2 is where it's at. You can hook it to your computer with a link cable if you ever wanted to do more powerful VR games and VR experiences, or you can just use the standalone built-in thing. Yeah, those headsets are basically just Androids. They really are. Androids strapped into a headset. They're just running that operating system. So they run really nice processors, though, the Snapdragon processors or something like that. So they're actually really good. You can actually play quite a few good quality games on there, but nothing beats like VRs from Steam and stuff and the Oculus desktop version. All right, so yeah, I got this little studio here. I come in here. You can actually go and you can actually almost actually do some recording here. Other than the bad quality you might get through some of the, if you're trying to record someone else's avatar, we've actually done some recording of people through Altspace and recorded their thing. But I can actually sit in this chair here and pull up whatever. I can pull up my desktop from home on this screen here, and it will pop into the studio, and anyone else in the studio will see my FL Studio here on the screen and hear it too. So it's like a real studio in that sense, but really just more for the experience. And it's hard to explain what it's like to actually have the headset on. It's so much more immersive when you have the actual headset on. But I'm building myself a studio. That's actually been my goal since I got into that place, was to build myself a studio. The problem is I'm not a world builder and I'm not good at it. So luckily my brother is. He's just really busy, and I'm meeting people in there that also could help me with it. That studio right there was made from a friend of mine, and he's made me a world before. He's not giving up the studio for free, that's for sure. So I just hang out there. It's not even his studio now anymore. He donated it to their team called the Flock, and their event organizing team inside of this place. I don't know if I'm going to use this that much. We'll probably end up using this thing here for a breakdown, where it kind of like rings out or something. Kind of sounds like a bell thing ringing out. What do we got here? This is what kind of layers up with those other chirpy things. I'm not sure. I'm sure. Let's see. We'll layer these. Let me turn everything back on. I want to see what this sounds like. Layered, kind of. Yeah, really quiet would be a nice layer. It has a nice little belly thing. We'll put this on track 2. And reverb. A little chimey. I want to keep this track real minimal, like this. Those hi-hats you had in the other drum beat might be too much for it. Might not use that. Oh, that was linked. My bad. It's part of that other drum beat. I don't know if I'll use that. I might, but... Okay, oops. Like that. Let me drink water. Need to find like a top loop for it. Now that I deleted your other one. I'm gonna try Loop Cloud here. I like Loop Cloud a lot. It's a lot of people don't know this, but you can run Loop Cloud as a plugin, and that's actually what I have set up here. So if you open up Loop Cloud, which is free by the way, Loop Cloud is basically a competitor of Splice. The thing is, Splice is working on something similar to this, but Splice does not yet have something like this sample like engine. I guess you'd call it. This is ran as a plugin right now, and if you notice that it's loop cloud is linked at 128, and actually you could go over here to pitch, and I can link it at C major, and then I have it linked to my library, and it will automatically audition with my track in time and key all my samples, and that right there is a game changer for those that never tried something like that. My samples online, selected loops. Actually, only have a couple top loops, so we'll just go and try some of these. So check this out. So if I hit play here, I can just audition these loops in time. I know Ableton and some DAWs do this kind of built in also, but a lot of them don't do it with the pitch also. I could be wrong, but having it on loop cloud is awesome. Because this is what I'm talking about. It's not just that it's playing at the same time. You might go, oh, well, my DAW does that too. It's not that it's just playing it at the same time. Watch this. So on the template, I actually have loop cloud as a plugin. So what that means is, so if I'm going to add a top loop to my track with some hi-hats, I can go ahead and route loop cloud to that channel. Channel 21. That's where my hats are. So now just auditioning them, I can start EQing it before I even pull the sample in. These top loops are not in the right tempo. Gonna be doubled. There we go. Yeah, do not be sleeping on loop cloud. It's awesome. You can start adjusting the volume of it. Okay, I know I said I wasn't going to bring any of my own samples in and my own loops in or whatever. This is probably just from Splice anyways. I really want y'all to send me the samples that we're going to use for the collab. I'm going to go ahead and just bring this hat in for now. We'll edit it a little bit. Yeah, so once we get to part, I'm going to start calling out for samples. If there's something in a track that I think it needs, instead of me just making it always myself or going through my library, I'm going to say, oh, hey, does anyone want to make a hi-hat track for this or whatever? So, I'll drop this in. So anyways, so another thing about loop cloud, I can just grab it and drop it right in. So drag and export project, and that stretched it already for me. So the original loop was 150, but it just now stretched it for me and all that stuff. So that was cool. That 128. I don't even want this whole thing. I just want first part. Might get some of the other parts. Actually, I really just want this part. Because now you got to route it to that same track. So it was track 21. I see loop cloud just stops playing immediately, so you can just clear it or whatever. Yeah, like loud hats, quiet hats. Depends on the genre. I think in house music and bass house music and all that stuff these days, those hi hats are getting pretty loud, are really nice. And some of the more settled music, choir hi hats. Your other hi hat pattern brought back in here might actually sound really subtle. Really subtle. I thought that was grouped. Okay. gotta ungroup this one. That's the thing about groups, you gotta remember what you're like. Where are those trunk hats at? I'll make sure I get on the right starting point. Trunk hats. Make this make unique. Why am I feeling like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? 1, 2. What did I do here? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold this stuff throwing me off here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, this thing here is not 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Ah. I mean, it works, but I just kind of want to make sure this is a full-on loop here, so like. Pretty cool. I probably won't show y'all that Monster Cat thing, by the way. I know I got excited a second ago. I was going to show y'all some Monster Cat thing when Sandsar, but y'all can probably watch it on YouTube. So I don't think my Sandsar's updated. Just didn't want to leave one hanging on that. Anyways, yeah. I have a friend. Also, I mean, even Deadmau5 has done not Deadmau5, but Mousetrap has done a big. Their Deadmau5's record label Mousetrap has done a big VR performance in that same world. So Sandsar is another good one to check out. It's not available on Quest, though. It's only on PC. Okay, this is cool. I like this, what we did today. Young Outsider, I'm really liking what you sent me. I know it doesn't sound like anything, like, oh, it sounds kind of, but it doesn't sound like like the demo you sent necessarily, but it's kind of how these things will go. It's like mashing up our ideas, together. Where is your version? Alright, so like, this is what all the loops sound. I know I left out one of that main loops, but this is kind of what it is. And then we took those loops and we kind of settled them, made them more subtle, and that had a more chirpy sound. Oh, there it is. Like a little, I mean, not chirpy, like a bell. Like. I like it. I like that layer there. It still needs something to really carry the song through, but this is a great minimal house style starting track. Not really too minimal. It's kind of like, it could borderline minimal, but just kind of, I don't know what you'd call it. So when we work on this again, I'm gonna hash out like an arrangement, and then we'll start coming up with the ideas for like how this is gonna progress. This doesn't seem like it's gonna be like an epic riser and a drop track. This seems like it's gonna be a progressive house track where it builds up and then breaks back down, then builds back up, breaks back down. So to have like your traditional, more like a techno song, and to have your traditional house techno kind of intro, progressive house, where it's just just a couple elements, and the elements start coming in one at a time, and then it'll groove for a while with everything going. One like arpeggio loop going through here, so then, and then it will start breaking back down, and then it'll build back up and do a second run. Just groove into it. All right. Cool. All right, so I'm gonna save this, and we'll do one other quick thing before we get out of here. But let me save this as I haven't even saved it yet. Oops, I'm so bad about that. Yeah, so that's saved there. But I also want to go ahead and all this title. So we're talking C major. The same as A minor. Well, it's not the same as A minor, but it's the same scale. I mean, same notes. 128. Cool. I'm in the alt space room. Nice. I don't know why I keep closing out of that thing. Oh, because sometimes I feel like it messes with my Fruity Loop FL Studio, like if I'm running at the same time, but a lot of times it doesn't. It just depends on how much I'm like. It depends on how much I got going on in FL. A lot of times I could just leave this running. It's like, hey, young outsider, when you're in there, you can go ahead and let's see if you can do it here. Oh, you can't do it here. Let me just go ahead and add your. Dun, dun, dun. Hey, Young's in the house. Young's in the house. Hey, I don't think anyone can hear you though on stream. Just you know, your mic is not going through. Um, it's cool. It's cool. And there's like a delay in latency, as you'll see. I've already said all this, and you're gonna hear it here in a second. All right, cool. Nice avatar. Get the backwards hat. You know, for the longest time, I couldn't figure out how to get my avatar to have a backwards hat. Nice. You kind of look like you kind of look like yourself in real life because I've seen your YouTube videos. Good job. Nice. So yeah, you can save the world as your favorite, but you can't save this as your favorite. You'd have to go to the world. Like this is the event. Outside the event, there's a separate world, like duplicate of this, and you save this. In fact, here I'll show you one other thing, and we'll jump off the stream here in a second. But just show you one other thing since you're on here. Worlds, my favorites. So pop up this portal. Clicked on this portal here in the thing. All right, I'm gonna click it. The blue circle. I'll give you a second to hear what I'm saying. All right, and I'm gonna click it. Confirm. Nice. Cool. He'll probably pop in here in a second. Hope I didn't lose him. All right, cool. Yeah, that's funny that you got another thing. All right, so again, sidetracked here, but we're about to wrap this stream up anyways. Thanks again, everyone that always comes by this thing. So I'm gonna do one other thing. I saved this out. I'm gonna jump over to the Foxy Galaxy collab and drop in one of the bass samples he sent me. What else is it? Where is? I think I lost you. I think I lost you, young outsider. You didn't port over here. No worries. I'll get you later. See here. I should have added you as a friend before I popped out. Anyways, That's funny. So let me pop over to the other thing here. File, save, open, in collab one. Where'd you go, Young? Did it let you into the studio room? I'll pop back over to the event. Should have loaded in by now. It's so I don't know what happened. Anyways, when Fox Galaxy sent me, I sent Fox the MIDI information for the lead and the bass we've been using, and then Fox created another bass patch. Oh, we lost. Sorry, Young, I lost you. I should have added you as a friend before we kind of got lost there. But uh, anyways, I'm gonna drop that bass sample that Fox sent me. Nobody's in there. I lost you. Lost you, Young. Let me know when you come back. Um. All right, so let's do that now. I don't know how much I choose if I get. So Fox sent me. So I think in oops. Okay. We're going to need to route all this, of course, but let me just first of all route it to. I'm gonna take this other track that we're not using anymore, track 3 here. Bass 3. Young Outsider, what happened to you, my man? Young Outsider, where did you go? I wonder what headset Young's got. um, Young, I wasn't able to hear you also when I was in there because I didn't have all the audio and everything turned up, so it causes like feedback. So my bad for like if you're trying to talk to me when I was in there. I That's why I can't do the VR event and the live stream at the same time. I used to try to do that, and it's just too much to try to think of this. So I just kind of like set the event up and I leave the VR world when I'm doing the stream. So that's probably why. Okay, here we go. 16. What I need to do this. I'll make this bass 3 top. Young Outsider is right here. Boom. Add him to friend. Friend request sent. I like your username. Y underscore O. MPA Production. Oh, all right, cool. Let's make this base work here. So I routed that to 17. Okay, so Route that to 17, and 17 is getting split, but I think you got to fix that because it's actually getting split to the wrong ones. Top 3 is right here, so I need to get that split to track 13 over here. So I'm gonna take this and first unlink this, unlink that. Okay. Side chain to this track. And then I'll jump back in the frequency splitter and assign those things. Base, base top 3, base top 3. All right, here we go. Whoa. I keep forgetting to leave that. Okay. I don't think we can layer those, but okay, it needs some work. It's not how we're going to chop it up, but it's nice that we have all 3 bases in there. I do think these 2 bases can work together. I like to leave that because it kind of makes it seem like this base is turning into this base. So, I don't think I'm done with this vocoder base. What do you think of that? Rah. That one needs a lot of work, right? This needs like some. We ended up using very little of that base we made yesterday. I do like the base you sent me. Fuck, this is good. I like this part. That's working. Yeah, it still needs like it needs some. Not that. Yeah, these little lead-ins here are important. They really are. They kind of. It loses its character, right? I mean, it loses its mojo. So this base. It wants to work, but it's just not working yet. Maybe if we got it needs to morph into that. It needs to like go from this into this somehow. I don't like not like this, but like it needs to like crossfade. Yeah, lost it. I lost it. Here. Okay, so I'm just trying to not do that. That works better, but I'd still like to see it like more. And so we switched to a different song. So this is the collab. The other collab was with me and Young Outsider. This track is now the track I've been working on. I was working on last week. This is the collab between Fox of Galaxy, Super Z Russell, and BTSEM and I. So that's what all these samples came from, like those three producers. And so this bass thing's got it matches this lead here. Oh, it's already there. Here's it. I tried to do the drop. Anyways, it goes from that little lead into... We got some stuff flipping for sure. Oh, wait, no one. The sub's working. We're missing something though. Something happened here. Top 3. Top 2. Top 1. This is supposed to be going through here. Oh man, you know what I did? I messed up. Anyways, I'm gonna leave it. I'm not gonna do too much more. I'm gonna have to fix this mistake after the stream. The stream's almost over. I routed the new bass you sent me into the other bass track. It's still kind of working, but it's causing problems too. I'm gonna fix all that. Let's not worry about my mistakes there. But see what we have going on here is 3 basses: bass 1, bass 2, bass 3. I have all those being frequency split, so the subs are all going to the same channel here. That way I can compress the sub of all 3 basses together into just one solid balanced level signal. And then the top end is all those basses are going out here. 1, 2, 3. So this is 3 basses. It's just getting frequency split here. So that's why I'm just gonna take the sub and at the end. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. Bass 1, bass 1 top, bass 2, bass 2 top, bass 3, bass 2 top. And then they all get routed to the separate sub going out there. That's how it's supposed to be. I kind of messed it up right now, but I will fix it. I'm gonna file save that. I'm gonna wrap the stream up. It's been 2 hours. Thanks for those that stopped by today. That was cool. I'm having a lot of fun with these. Just a reminder, there will be a lot of different collabs going on. And Hinso, that's basically going to be a new one when you send me stuff. So I will definitely have time for them all because Monday through Friday is a lot of time. Eventually, we just need plenty of content. So I'm going to get a lot of the collabs started. And like I said, it's going to be kind of back and forth. So if I get to a certain stage where I can't really think of what I want to do to it at the moment, instead of leaving it hanging for long, I'm just going to send it back to the other producers, and then y'all can work on it or whatever, and then send it back to me. We'll just kind of do a back and forth thing like that. So lots of collabs going to be going on, at least 5 at a time or something like that. 4 or 5 at a time, because that's literally one. If we really needed to 1 week, we could do one each day or something, but just depends. So about 5 collabs at a time, and then each collab I have 3 to 5 members on the collab, so that'll be cool. This is why the space is clipping now, is because I messed up all those tracks. I gotta fix all that clipping. Okay, so that's it. Young, if you stick around, I've got about 5 minutes. I can come in there and chit chat with you for a second before I have to run and do some other things. But that's pretty cool. You came there. I will pop in there in a second. For those anyone else that ever joins the Alt Space World, definitely come join the events there and stay in touch with keeping kind of like up to date with the VR virtual recording studio I'm going to be building for the community. It'll be real fun. So check that out and let me know if you do. And for everyone else, definitely find us on Discord. Of course, our Discord link's on top of our Twitch page, top of the YouTube channel, and you'll find it all our other channels there too. So our YouTube, SoundCloud, and stuff like that. Okay, I can't think of any other announcements. We'll do my private lesson plug, because I just want people to know. I got to start doing this more. I got to let everyone know I give private lessons. So if anyone ever out there, I don't expect like our everyday members, but if anyone ever does get interested in private FL Studio lessons, I teach it professionally. I've been using the software for 15 years now plus, and I teach it professionally. So if you ever want to take a few lessons, let me know. Hit me up in the Discord. All right, thanks everybody. I'll see y'all back in the chats. You can always direct message me if you have any questions. Bye for now.